Well, good damn afternoon, Americans. Jericho Green here with you once again. Make sure you hit the description box. Find that link to my new YouTube channel, Green's House. It's where I sit down with amazing people and have them tell their extremely interesting stories. A departure from what I do here, but just doing something new. New year, new me. Anyway, that sounds ridiculous. Anyway, if you guys have been following me long enough, you know that I am a veteran of the world's finest Navy. Wow, that person just blew. They just blew through an intersection where the traffic light is out. And when I was in my driver's ed class in high school with Mr. Sugimoto, he would tell us, most of driving is driving defensively, watching out for other people. And from time to time, I'm reminded when I see things like somebody blowing through an intersection where the light's gone out, where the light's not out because we're having storms here, so there's no electricity. So everybody stops. You look who came to the intersection first, and you go accordingly. And to add insult to possible injury, it was one of those little tiny ass smart cars. Like one with the tires that are barely bigger than your hand. Two men could flip that thing over. And you're the dumbass who decides to blow through an intersection? Be careful, people. Watch out for the dummies. They get driver's licenses too. Anyway, but I'm a veteran of the world's finest Navy. So, when you belong to a group like that, a group that not everybody's a part of, you always feel connected to it. You always, you want to see them do good in their football games, Army versus Navy, all that kind of shit. You like to see them do well. And when you hear things like what I'm about to tell you, it sucks. Not only as an American citizen, because our military is supposed to protect us, despite what they tell you, despite when they tell you that the military is now a way to get your dick chopped off or your vagina DIY'd into some kind of makeshift penis that looks like a microwave, hot dog that exploded in the microwave. Despite all that bullshit, the United States military is supposed to be a fighting/killing force. So we've had the, like I just mentioned, the Ku Klux Klans being able to join and get their weird ass surgeries, and you can identify as the opposite sex and start wearing the uniform, the maternity flight suits. All that bullshit, the overall, the general pussification, the general neutering, the general declawing, the general tooth pulling of our United States military. Well, and before I forget, probably the worst of all is the way they all jump on that rainbow colored grenade when it comes to quote unquote Pride Month. So now, the United States Navy and all you other members of branches, you veterans of other branches, you current active duty members of other branches, hold your snickers, hold your finger pointing, and hold your laughing. You know why? Because the Navy is just the first one. So the Navy has decided that they are lowering their expectations. They are diminishing the criteria that you need to meet to join the military. No flat feet. Based on your age and your height, what weight you need to be, the physical readiness that you need to possess, and the test taken and all that stuff. Well, the Navy's fucking with it all. Because since you pussified our military and you changed it and you made it the laughing stock of the international stage, what you're doing while you're catering to this teeny tiny esoteric group of insane people is you are alienating the majority of red-blooded American males and ladies who want to join because they're looking for a certain experience. They're looking for that rough and tumble, yell at me, scream at me in boot camp. I want to be different than everybody. I want to stand out. I want to serve my country. I want to stand up straight and have a clean ass uniform. The military creases, the hat, the hands at your side, all that shit. They want that experience, and you're ruining that experience. That experience to them is a punch bowl full of ice cold punch, and you are squatting over it, taking a ropey shit in the punch bowl. So the Navy is lowering the standards. Now, I believe when I joined, you could take the ASVAB up to 3 times before they said, I'm sorry, this ain't for you. Now, the Navy wants to raise it to 10 times. You can take the ASVAB test up to 10 times. If you need 10 tries, aren't you almost retarded? Also, they're accepting neck tattoos. Uh-oh. Jericho, be careful. You're going to alienate all the neck-tatted viewers, followers, subscribers. Look, if you want to live your life with neck tattoos, man, I don't give a damn. But do I want you to have neck tattoos joining the United States military? No. You need to have certain qualifications, and you need to look a certain way. It is the United States military. It's their rules. If you don't like their rules, take your ball and go home. But this is what the United States military required, or the United States Navy, or the United States military requires and have since its inception. There have been certain rules and regulations you have to follow, a certain look you have to come to the recruiter's table with, so to speak. And no neck tats was one of them. But now you can have that. So now you can be borderline mentally handicapped, and you can have neck tats. What's next? Also, the United States Navy no longer requires you to have a GED or a high school diploma. What? Having a GED or high school diploma is like your academic credit score. It shows that you have a certain level of commitment. It shows that you can get at least one thing done. Like, that's just the standard in our society. Everybody has either graduated high school. Most people graduate, and some people get a GED, but we pretty much all made it out of high school and got a piece of paper at the end, right? But they no longer require that? So then what happens? What quality of sailor are we going to have? What quality of sailor are you putting on the battlefield? Because the battlefield is coming. You know, every time we stick a toe in the sandbox, we end up being pushed into it and falling face first in said sandbox. It's happening. We're already running sorties over the Middle East, Jordan, Iran, who else knows where? Over there watching Israel's back. Well, who the fuck is watching ours? So wait a minute. You have us paying for 2 wars on 2 different fronts. You now have us fighting, albeit on a small scale for now, but we're probably going to end up in a full-scale war in the Middle East again. So you have our money going to 2 wars, about to be 3 wars. We're going to be fighting a war, and you are allowing hordes of invaders to come over the border who are war-aged men? Are we going to end up pulling a Malcolm X? Are we going to be at our window holding a carbine, looking out the fucking blind, saying by any means necessary, as we see multicolored people wearing blue UN helmets marching down our streets? Jericho, that's conspiracy. That won't happen. I'm sorry. I took my tinfoil hat off and threw that bitch in the trash after the sweet and sour sniffles. So yeah, that shit can happen. You have states allowing foreigners to be police officers. You have them allowing non-citizens to be law enforcement. Are you ready for this? Do you know why I pulled you over today? Let me see your license and your registration, mother sucker. Isn't that kind of weird? So like I said, that's the first branch. You think it's going to be the last? You think it's going to be the last? You think the Army, Air Force, and Marines aren't going to be falling over themselves to jump on this woke boat too? You think the Coast Guard, hey guys, what about me? You think they're not going to jump on this shit too? And have little dumb puddle pirates in their ranks? This is literally the dumbing down of our military. 10 chances at the ASVAB. There should be no test that you could take 10 times. Can we agree on that? I don't give a fuck what it is. I don't care if it's a blood test. You can't take that shit 10 times. If you need 10 blood tests, you're gonna die. What the hell is going on? No high school diploma, no GED, and neck tats? And you have these videos out of these people, these active duty Navy personnel, who are celebrating this, literally dancing. Wow. What's that colloquialism where the axe, the trees ended up being friends with the axe because it had a wooden handle or some shit like that? You have these sailors celebrating and ushering this shit in, and they're dumbing down your ranks. That's the fool you're going to have to stand next to in battle. Where do I put the bullets? You know how it goes. I try to be done with the left, but they just won't let me. Please subscribe. Hit that notification bell because every time it rings, a piece of shit lefty cries. Utilize the Linktree link. Get your ass to that description section and hit the link to my new YouTube channel, Green's House. I am Jericho Green. Man, I'm out.